everybody, welcome back to my channel. So this is a 60-second reads video with a text that has been taken from Twinkl. Okay, so today's text is actually really important because it links to a celebration that is actually happening tomorrow. So it's linked to VE Day. So this text here, you'll have 60 seconds to read it, although it's not massive. And then we will go through some of the vocabulary in there that is quite complicated and very specific. And then we'll have a little bit of a discussion about VE Day, and then we'll have a look at some questions. Go through some of the vocabulary in there. Now, like I said before, there are some out reading the text. We will now go through some of the vocabulary in there. Now, like I said before, there are some quite tricky words in here because it's very, very specific to the type of text that we're reading. And then we'll have a go at answering some questions. In Europe Day is the day that Europe celebrated is victory. So victory means that you have successfully won something or completed something. So victory in Europe Day is the day that Europe celebrated winning or conquering the Second World War. It was the end of the fighting that was taking place. So, the white flag being waved is basically a sign that somebody is... White flag is showing you on the video. The white flag being waved is basically a sign that somebody is wanting to surrender, which means to almost to give up, to want to let your enemies know that you do not intend to continue fighting, that they have won. And the last word that I've picked out here is demands. So if you demand something, it means that you are telling somebody that you want something and that they have to give it to you. So a bit like here, the scene that's been taken from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, when she is demanding that she wants it now, that is exactly what that means. And then one more word that actually isn't underlined but I think is actually quite important to look at is the word announcement. So if you shorten that word and you just look at the word announce means to tell somebody something. So an announcement is when you are telling a group of people the news that you have got to share. Really, really important. And then once you've had a go at all 5, if you press play, we'll go through the answers together. All of them, you can just write them down onto a piece of paper. I've left the text up so that you can go back to it because that's really, really important. And then once you've had a go at all 5, if you press play, we'll go through the answers together. Victory in Europe. You could have literally just written victory in Europe, that will be fine. Number 2, what had happened for VE Day to be announced? So it was that the Germans had surrendered their part in the Second World War. You could have written it from the opposite perspective of that the British had won the Second World War, but it is probably better to go back and just tell me about the fact that we won because the Germans had surrendered. Number 3, how would people know that there was good news? So people would know that there was good news because the church bells would be rung all around the country. If you've gone on to tell me about the announcement, that is telling people about the good news directly, but actually it was the church bells that was signalling that. Name 2 effects that war in Europe had on the British people. So that you could tell me about the fact that millions of homes were destroyed, so people became homeless, thousands of people were killed, millions of lives have been torn apart, anything along those lines. And number 5, who was Winston Churchill? At the time of this happening, Winston Churchill was the British Prime Minister. If you've just written British Prime Minister or Prime Minister, that's absolutely fine, you can have those as your answers.